Guys, I think I've done it. I believe I found the worst mock draft of 2021. This one comes from our friends at CBS. They've been known to have some pretty bad mock drafts. 2021 NFL mock draft, Jets take Justin Fields. You know, I'm a fan of Justin Fields over Zach Wilson. So that's a good start. Bengals protect Joe Burrow. Lions get Jared Goff a weapon. Okay, let's get into this mock draft here. We've got, Trevor Lawrence going first overall like we all expect. Justin Fields. You know, guys, I've been debating and I've been thinking, I actually think it's better for Justin Fields to not go to the Jets, maybe go to a team later, a team trades up for him, maybe he goes to Atlanta. We know the weapons that they have, although I don't know if they're ready to move on from Matt Ryan. You're talking about a team like Carolina. I know Mel Kiper just came out with a mock draft that has Carolina trading up to third to get Justin Fields. But guys, I've come out with several videos. I'm on record saying Justin Fields will be a better NFL quarterback than Zach Wilson. Scouts do this all the time. There hasn't been a single game played, right from the last game of the season, the Alabama-Ohio State game, right after that game, Justin Fields was the clear, far and away QB2 behind Trevor Lawrence. Now suddenly, because the scouts say so, he's dropped back, guys. It's the same thing with Deshaun Watson and Mitch Trubisky. Mitch Trubisky started 1 year at North Carolina. What is the justification to have Mitch Trubisky ahead of Deshaun Watson? There wasn't one. It's just these scouts, Zach Wilson is better. Like you're talking about Justin Fields. Justin Fields not only is athletic, big, but he's also extremely accurate. Justin Fields, very underrated. And this is a terrible mock, but it does have Justin Fields as the second quarterback taking. Then you've got Jamar Chase. That would be, Miami going with the we want to build around Tua thing. Then Trey Lance, obviously a little bit surprising there. This one, it's not that unrealistic though. If a team falls in love with a quarterback, they're going to take, whatever quarterback they want. So even if Zach Wilson is still on the board, if they like Trey Lance, they're going to take him. Then we get to the first ridiculous one. Christian Darrisaw. Okay, that's with the tackle Sewell from Oregon, the franchise tackle that everyone loves, still on the board. This is the first mock draft I've ever seen Darrisaw be the first offensive tackle taken. And they have him going fifth overall, and this person believes that Darrisaw out of Virginia Tech, kind of a rising star after the season ended, saying that he's the best tackle in the class. Caleb Farley, I'm surprised Caleb Farley's been able to maintain his draft status. He's the typical player that kind of loses a little luster as the draft process goes on, but we're constantly seeing him mocked right around 10th overall, maybe even inside the top 10. This pick, I just don't understand. You've got Devontae Smith, and you take a look at this. He says, I like what the Lions are building on their roster with the new head coach, Dan Campbell. I mean, what are they building? They need a quarterback. Is Jared Goff struggled to be a semi-franchise quarterback with Sean McVay? How is he going to do with Dan Campbell? And the Dan Campbell hiring, listen, you don't want to kill hirings like that, but it's a tough one. You need a good young quarterback. The Lions are in a position to draft a younger quarterback. They made a great trade, trading 2 first-rounders for Matt Stafford. Or trading Matt Stafford for 2 first-rounders. I think that's a great trade, even though the first-rounders are going to be later in the draft. It's just Dan Campbell, defensive mind. You're going to need a very powerful young offensive coordinator to come in there and mentor whatever quarterback that is. Jared Goff, he's a serviceable guy. We saw what he did with Sean McVay, one of the best or so-called best offensive minds in the NFL. How is he going to improve under Dan Campbell? I'm not understanding that. I'm not understanding the Devontae Smith pick here. I'd like to see them draft maybe an offensive tackle, maybe look to move a guy like Taylor Decker, get rid of his big contract, and go into a rebuild. You have 2 first-round picks in your back pocket. You have ammunition to get a potential top quarterback this draft or in a future draft. If I'm the Lions, that's what I would do. Devontae Smith, what are you trying to go? You're trying to go from 3-13 to 5-11? I mean, what are we doing here? And then Sewell would go to Carolina, who needs a quarterback. I think Carolina is definitely going to take a quarterback. If they don't take one, they cannot go into next year with Teddy Bridgewater as their starter. Teddy Bridgewater is a good backup. He's a serviceable backup that can win a team some games. He can be a stopgap guy. He can come in and he can help your year. Maybe, like Drew Brees goes down on the Saints. He comes and he plays well. He's not a starter. He had DJ Moore. He had Robbie Anderson last year. He had Curtis Samuel, who's very underrated. Nice contract for Curtis Samuel with Washington there. He had all those guys. Teddy Bridgewater didn't do anything. He didn't do anything. I know Christian McCaffrey was hurt. He didn't do anything. You've got Surtain going 9th overall. How about Denver, man? They cannot. You want to talk about a team? I was talking about how Chicago was so bad with the young quarterbacks. Denver, oh my goodness. They get, John Elway. They get Peyton Manning. And guys, I actually think Peyton Manning is the most underappreciated, underrated quarterback in NFL history. There is some nostalgia going back to his 2013 year. I had him on fantasy. That was the best quarterback year I've seen from anyone ever. Peyton Manning's 2013 year. Google his stats, folks. Google them. Absurd. Peyton Manning, very underrated. Even though he's, considered one of the greats, he's underrated still. He's unbelievable, guys. But you're the Broncos. You get Peyton Manning for those 4 years, right? Even, you win the Super Bowl in 2016, Von Miller, phenomenal. They cannot get a young quarterback. They're constantly picking 8th, 9th, 10th in the draft, and they're not getting that elite quarterback. Do they go with a Mac Jones? I've seen Mac Jones get mocked to Denver recently. We'll have to see what happens there. J.C. Horn, I actually really like this pick, and I agree with this write-up with J.C. Horn playing aggressive. I love cornerbacks like J.C. Horn. He's 6'1", 205, and he gets in receivers' face. I love that pick. Joe Tryon. Guys, what's with Washington having all these busts as first rounders? I don't know. You see guys like John Ross, Danny Shelton. It seems like they've had some busts there as first rounders. This kid, a massive reach, going 11th overall. I would grade that pick an F if it happened. I don't think the Giants are going to take him, but not a good pick there. And then Zach Wilson going 12th to Kyle Shanahan. Taking a look, Kyle Pitts. Guys, anyone else get the feel that Kyle Pitts is going to look really small as an NFL tight end? I mean, it's almost like he looks small in college as a tight end. In the NFL, he's almost going to look like a wide receiver. If you look small as a tight end in college, you're going to look mini. And I'm sure he's going to put on muscle and stuff like that, but you watch Kyle Pitts run out on an NFL field. You watch him in the preseason. I think people are going to be like, this guy looks like a receiver. Look for that. I mean, because he looks small in college as a tight end. What is he going to look like in the NFL? I don't know. How about another defensive lineman from Washington? What's this Washington obsession? I don't understand this. Tyson Campbell. I don't get the Tyson Campbell hype. He did not, he was a former 5-star out of high school. He went to Georgia, spent 3 years at Georgia, and comes out as a redshirt sophomore that would be. I'm not buying Tyson Campbell as a first rounder. Liam Eichenberg. I have not seen him mocked. He's, according to CBS, ranked 144th. Apparently, he was so dominant on tape at Notre Dame. I don't understand that. I haven't seen Liam Eichenberg mocked in any first round. Najee Harris, I think that's way too high for a running back. Harris is probably... Alabama's actually having their pro today. It'll be interesting to see what Harris runs. He's not a home run hitter, and it's very tough for running backs to go in the first round. To me, Najee Harris is the typical guy to be mocked in the first round, but then kind of fall a little bit. We'll have to see there. Micah Parsons, he's a beast. I love Micah Parsons. I think he's a top 10 talent. We'll have to see. They have him ranked 6th overall. There are a little, character concerns. I'm not sure why he's been falling down some draft boards. Brady Christensen out of BYU. I'm not sure. Who knows? Leatherwood, he's going to be a guard, I'm guessing. Jalen Waddle falling down. I'm guessing that's injury concerns. He's a beast. Asante Samuel Jr., you can't draft a cornerback who's 5'10 in the first round. The kid's 5'10. You're going to draft... I don't like that pick. Josh Myers, you're taking Josh Myers over Wyatt Davis. Guys, if you watched Ohio State offensive line... Josh Myers is a quality third-round pick. Maybe he could sneak into the back half of the second round. I hope he does, as an Ohio State fan. Wyatt Davis is clearly, if you're going to take an interior offensive guard, Wyatt Davis is better than Josh Myers from Ohio State. Tony, the wide receiver, the speedster from Florida, I don't see him as a first-round pick personally. Jalen Phillips, I think that'd be a bad pick for the Browns, really bad. All athleticism, no production. It's a common theme with the pass rushers in this draft, guys. I do like that I'm not seeing Gregory Rousseau in the first round. I've been seeing people trend off of him. I said he was overrated, and then everyone trends off of him. It's kind of interesting how that works out. Collins, we've seen him, the linebacker from Tulsa. Bynum out of California, Cameron Bynum. Again, guys, these picks are just so... I'm not sure. Tucker, the guard or tackle from going to Green Bay. Etienne, I think Etienne's going to be good in the NFL. I think he was overrated in college. It's kind of a weird situation. Aaron Banks, I haven't seen him mocked in any first rounders. And then Milton Williams, our friend Milton Williams. And I thought it was interesting. I'd search, see if Milton Williams was in any other mock drafts. Take a look at this. First round percentage, 0.01%. Well, we know which one that is. And you go down There it is. Every other mock draft, round 5, round 7, round 5, 92nd overall, 157th out of La Tech as the last pick in the first round. So that is just a mock draft that, I don't know what's going on here. I really don't. The two defensive linemen from Washington, Milton Williams, I'm not sure. But guys, I found one. This is a user-generated or a user, so random users can do their own mock drafts. And I was searching for just a ridiculous one, and of course, it didn't take me very long. People do these mock drafts. They're just ridiculous. The funniest thing about this one, draft mode, realistic. We've got Jamar Chase as the number 1 overall pick. You know, the Jaguars' Urban Meyer says, I don't need a quarterback. Who cares who's going to throw to Jamar Chase? He's going to catch everything. The Jets say, we don't need a quarterback either. Trevor Lawrence falls down the board. We don't want him. And then you got to get to a weapon. Kwity Paye, of course. The Falcons, Matt Ryan's aging. Trevor Lawrence is on the board. Who cares, man? Where does Trevor Lawrence go? And see, this is what I'm talking about, guys. John Elway makes his move. He doesn't even have to move up in the draft to get Trevor Lawrence. He gets him 9th overall. He gets him 9th overall. Zach Wilson goes 12th overall. These are all very realistic. How about Bill Belichick gets his guy, gets Trey Lance. Beautiful, beautiful pick there. Mac Jones. You know what? The Jets say, you know what? We don't want Trevor Lawrence. We don't want Zach Wilson. We don't want Justin Fields. We want Mac Jones with our second first rounder. This is 3D chess, ladies and gentlemen. 3D chess right here. 3D chess. And then Justin Fields. Sean Payton says, you know what? You think we're going to go into the season with Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston? We're going to sit back on our perch at pick number 28 and let Justin Fields fall right into our lap, as this mock draft demonstrates right here, ladies and gentlemen. This is just a fun mock draft. I don't know, just doing some fun stuff there. Look at Dabo. But guys, that is going to do it for this video. Just a funny, terrible mock draft. I'm sure there's a lot of them out of there. I would love to see other ones, but I went to this mock draft and I kept seeing guys. I'm like, who is that? Who is that? Who is that? Who is that? There's like 4 or 5 guys there. Oh my goodness. Going in the first round, it's just so bad. It's like, what's the point of doing mock drafts if they're that unrealistic? And that one was from CBS, so that was a normal one. Now, obviously, this one with Jamar Chase going first overall, this was just a random user-generated. You can do your own mock draft thing, just a fun one. That one was from somebody who works at CBS. It's like, there's no point. You're getting paid to do this. Make them realistic. There's got to be some level of realism to them. Guys, make sure you're following me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I am, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.